Okay, cool. So I'm going to introduce you to what this session is going to be about. What I'm going to show you is we've spent a whole day here and you've been interacting and not realising that you've been passing an incredible amount of social capital through, has anyone met a new friend today? Sure. Right, cool. Then you've probably met another 20 networks through that person that's going to help you validate your idea, your project, your enterprise, and your assumptions. So the next 20 minutes is going to show you quickly how to do that. So is there anyone here working on a project at the moment that's hit a bit of a barrier? So I'm going to ask the two people to come down. Rob? Yeah? No? Don't be shy. Yeah. Alright, cool. I'll bring it down in a second. Let's give Rob a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Because what we're going to do is we're going to work with Rob and hopefully another very brave soul to look at what barriers they're facing and how do we rapidly test assumptions by harnessing your social capital. So, anyone else out there? I'm telling you this is going to be gold. Right.
I'll do it.
Yep, alright, cool, here we go. Now you guys can take a seat here if you want. And what we're going to ask them is what assumption they need to test. So I'm just going to prep them about their project. So your challenge, gentlemen, is, now I know this is going to be hard, but think about how to describe what you do or what your problem is in 30 seconds, and then what question you need answered. Okay? Right, now that's them. They're thinking. If you need paper, you can use that, but not my guide sheet. So, what we're going to do now with this part of the audience is we're going to play a quick game of what profession are you? Okay, this is kind of like that old one where you used to have all the little people and you used to go, ooh, do you have yellow hair? And you flip them down. So now, to do this, to get some, I don't even know what that's called. What is that called? Yes, sir, right. Guess my profession. Now, if we go across a couple, you might want to sit up and stand out again. So now you can either do this two ways, just flail your arms in the air, or stand up and then sit down when we call. So the way we're going to do the game is I'll call out one, and then I might call out another one. And if you are that profession, I want you to sit down. But then I want you to start calling them back out to me as well. So if you hear someone else call fine artist specialising in, and you're one of those people, then you sit down. And what we're going to do is see how many different professions we have in the audience. So now this is where I walk off for a second, and I get you all to stand up and cheer, and I'm going to come out and yell out two professions. Are you ready? Come on, people, stand up. All right. Okay, welcome to Harnessing Social Capital. I'm looking in the audience for a lawyer. Someone engaged in the legal profession.
There she is, right there, the lawyer.
All right, we have a lawyer. Okay, I'm looking for an architect. That's right. Well, now this is your turn to start yelling out professions of your own. Oh, no, way too many people down.
Academic.
Okay, is there any academics in the audience tonight? Okay, alright, let's make this easy. Is there any engineers?
Come on, guys.
Come on, seriously. And Lizzie told me you're all creative types. Alright, so let's go. Who else have we got out there? The Find Yourself conferences tomorrow. A coordinator. Any more like a project manager? Do you like managing stuff? Alright, any project managers out there? Process managers, change managers? Alright, you can sit down. Alright, let's go, lady. Let's go back a row.
Political scientist.
Oh, boy, I'm not sure what we're going to do with that one. Any political scientists out there? That's great. If you want to have red wine conversations, go to this girl. Yep. Go to the next row.
Development worker.
Development worker. Okay, any more development? Oh, that kind of wipes out everyone else, doesn't it?
Work with refugee communities.
Okay, refugee communities.
Student. Student?
Okay, student. What are you studying?
Mechanical.
Okay, mechanical engineer. Any mechanical engineers out there? Right, one. After that. Geologist? Any more geologists? Oh, I've got a geologist friend with him. That's fantastic. I always travelled with the second ginger spare, but he left me. Yes, sir?
I'm the CEO of my own company.
Alright, any more CEOs out there? Anyone else that wants to be a CEO?
Yeah, that's it.
Alright, so who have we got left?
There's a couple more standing.
There's a couple more?
Yeah, there's.
Well, I was industrial design.
Yeah, alright, thank you. Now we're industrial designer. Any more? Where are these mystery standing people? We've come to a Hobbit engineering conference. Alright, so basically what we're trying to do there is to show you that you're not just engineers in audience, and quite often when you're developing a project, and now this kind of technique that we're about to do is really good for either ideation, rapid prototyping, rapid modelling, whatever you want to call it. But it's also fantastic for getting people on your board, getting people on your team to put the right people in the bus of positions as well. It's about harnessing people in your network. So basically what we're going to do for the next one, for the next 5 minutes, is I'm going to ask you to do a task. And what I'm going to ask you to do is map 4 people in your network. And I want you to write down, or if you can think of it, keep it in your head like Rain Man, that's fantastic. 4 things. The name of the person, because that's always fantastic, instead of just yelling out, hey, you in the street. We want to talk about the profession they're in, and their position in that company. So, and then the last thing I want to put down is, what are they known for? You could probably say their passion. So, if we go out to, like, Lizzie, we describe Lizzie. Lizzie Brown, CEO, great coffee maker of engineers of that boys, right? So, that's what she does, everyone knows that. But what's your passion, Lizzie?
So me,
Go.
I learned how to make terrariums last night.
Okay, so if you're looking for terrarium advice, in an alternate universe, one day I woke up and I really need to make a terrarium. I just get around with Lizzie. Is that right? We'll go for terrariums.
Absolutely, I've done it once.
She's done it once.
Some rocks and stuff in it.
I'm really picking the gold and rocks and stuff. Yeah, it's rocks and stuff. So for the next 5 minutes, if you can map out 4 people in your network, and now you can either do it a couple of ways. You can put it into family, friends, professionals, or maybe just your extracurricular stuff. So on a Friday night, you might go disco bowling, or something like that. You might do that. But you also know that then joining who's dad, disco bowling actually works for an accounting firm. So we're starting to actually link who do you know and what do they do. So is everyone okay with that, or is there any questions? Comfortable? Yep. 4 people, 5 minutes. Your time starts now. Cool. You have 1 minute and 28 seconds left in the exam. Oh, come on, it's not that hard. These are people you talk to every day. I love how some people are checking their phones for Facebook names or something. Alright, let's go to 30-second countdown. Okay, the next question I'm going to ask you is just quickly yell out one professional career that's in your network that you didn't realise that you had. There's a little bit of a round. Is there any rounds that have popped up? Tough words today, I tell you.
Midwife.
Midwife. Now that's a good one. That's fantastic. Anyone got anything? Anyone raised me above midwife? Pool cleaner. Perfect. Anyone can raise something more random than pool cleaner? I've come to clean the pool. Huh? Interpretive dance. We've got an interpretive dancer here.
And that's Russica herself.
No, it's not.
Yes. Way too many places to go with that. Can we raise anyone above interpretive dancer?
Melbourne Recital Centre.
Melbourne Recital Centre. Lovely.
Performance poet.
Performance poet. Cool.
Radio announcer.
Radio announcer. Perfect. I've got access to the waves, airwaves. Any more?
Impact investor, I just realised he is.
There we go. This dude's opened up a whole world of new capital. Organic farmer. That's even better because you can translate that directly into communities overseas as well.
Fluvial geomorphologist.
Oh. A dermatologist.
No, geomorphologist. I study rivers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Man who studies rivers. That's got to be a peaceful thing, right?
Yeah.
All right. You see where I'm going with this, right? Right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have our lovely contestants here, Rob and Jai, present to you. But what we're actually going to do is play a game of Go Fish. So as you can tell, I haven't got past childhood. It's all about guess who and go fish. But what we're going to do is they're going to pose to you a barrier or an assumption that needs to be tested. And then we're going to ask you, our audience, who's got a connection that can answer that question for them. And then you might also want to say, I do, and it's a super hot connection, or it could be a little bit weak connection. Are you ready for this next game?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Well, let's put Rob. He's just had a baby. Are we ready for this next game?
Yeah.
All right, contestant Rob.
Thanks, Ian. I didn't really think about it before I stuck my hand up, but I'm up here now. So, I guess, so I work with Live and Learn Environmental Education. One thing that preoccupies me a lot is thinking about our work in Cambodia, where we've done a lot of innovative work, a lot of pilot projects that have been relatively successful, particularly for floating villages and flood-affected areas, working on floating toilets and floating biodigesters and floating gardens, integrating it with agricultural solutions and waste management. And I guess our barrier really is that even with successful pilots, taking it to the next stage, or having the resources to take it to the next stage, or to run the projects exactly how we want to, rather than how, whatever little bit of money we can get from certain donors. Yeah, basically the barrier is finding the resources to do the work that we want to do at the next level.
So do you make an assumption that somewhere out there in donor land, there are funders that are willing to put money in and give you a lot more freedom to do the design and outcomes?
Yeah, I think that's part of the assumption.
All right, so what we're looking for, ladies and gentlemen, is a forward-thinking funder. Anyone out there got a forward-thinking funder in their networks that could possibly help out in Cambodia? Might be a little bit flexible, willing to have a first meeting, just to give them some advice on potentially how to even write that first pitch. I'm thinking, you, we have a winner.
You need to chat with Danny, Rob.
Which Danny?
Amagor.
All right. So there you go. That's example one. It was a little bit slow, but it gets quicker. So chat to Danny on the wall. And will Danny be looking for do you have a financial return on this, or are you looking for grant-based?
I guess you have been working grant-based, but yeah.
All right, cool. But it's a start. And if anyone knows Danny Elmore, the guy knows everybody. So what we're doing is trading off on Rob's relationship to Lizzie, who's actually going to then provide a gateway to the next step and her social capital. So let's go over to Jai. Jai, what have you got for us today? Feel free to use the microphone, by the way.
We're trying to set up a program for Australian-based Engineers Without Borders volunteers to support volunteers overseas. So we're looking for a few different skill sets. One is we need someone who knows how to use, set up and manage an online collaboration platform or project management space.
Bingo. Sorry.
Wow.
Engineers Australia have offered us the use of the platform that they're using to connect graduates with job opportunities. Might be the same, might not be, but it's already developed.
Cool. There you go. Did you know that existed 30 seconds ago?
No.
I love the smell of success. All right, so I'd say we've got these two guys. We've got a couple more minutes though, but has anyone else got a connection that they need though? I mean, this is your opportunity. There's like 90 people in the room with connections. Wow, I can't believe you guys have got complete 100% perfect projects. All right, we've got one at the back, and then we'll come down to the lady in the front. Yep.
Connections
Okay, who's got a local council connection in sustainability? We've got one. Do I have more than one? I have two. Do we have three? Do we have more than three? We have 4 local council connections. Do you know any of these people? Good, you do now. Yes, all right, cool. So you have a very warm connection there, and 3 other people that, just because you're all great engineers and really lovely, they might actually talk to you about potentially doing that as well. Okay, next one.
I need to get interviews with CSR managers of resource extraction companies in Australia for my thesis.
Okay, so we have someone looking for interviews with resource managers in CSR managers in
resource extraction.
Okay, does anyone have connections to resource extraction companies? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're looking for the 5, 6. We're looking for the highest person or the most strategic person to introduce this young lady to in that company. What have you got?
I'm putting up, sounds like a bidding process.
Yeah.
Ian Wood, Head of Health, Safety, Environment, Community with BHP.
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
What did anyone else? What have you got? What are you packing? Doesn't matter? Doesn't matter? Alright, cool. So we've got 2 at BHP. That's handy in case the first one fails. That will never happen, will it? Alright, there was a few more hands. Come on, who have you got in resource extraction? Jenny?
I'm going to nominate this person here, Sally Henderson, sitting right next to me, who actually works with the BHP.
Oh, okay, so there's 2 there. Is that enough for you to start?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So can you see what we're doing with the process there? You know, the reason I do this in a lot of my workshops is about building efficiency into the way you develop your... I call them projects because so many people get stuck around legal terms, or enterprises. So, you know, how do you create efficiency and accelerate your ability to create change and test all along the way? So using that iterative design sort of thing, always test and redo your modelling. And it's about harnessing your social capital. So, you know, I don't know how much more time you would have spent trying to find someone, or you would have to go in the front door to get into BHP Dilettante and go through 10 different people who all had to work out whether they were the gatekeeper to the boss. Or you can just go straight to Jenny, her friend, or Lizzie, who would say, oh, look, by the way, one of my friends is working on a thesis, all you need to know is this, or you put in a request in as little as much information as possible, and you put in the answer that you require and ask them to give it back in as little amount as information as possible. So when you're harnessing social capital, you're actually making an efficient way to get answers off your networks as well. And I tend to term it, what's the minimum distance to travel you need to test your assumption? And here we're talking about people you already know. Facebook's probably one of the easiest ways to do it. Hey guys, running a fundraiser about cows, we're chucking $100 for a onesie. You know, oh, I haven't doing that. Sorry, I should have put that up there, shouldn't I? And you know, we get all those responses. And we test the market by seeing how people respond to the language I'm using. But when you do that, when you put the request out, you put it as minimum amount of information as possible because you don't want to waste the social capital that you're leveraging off. You don't want to burn people. So then you find out what's the least amount of information you need to validate your assumption. And for you, it's like, I just need to contact the BHP. Do you know anyone? I just need 30 minutes of their time, whatever you need, to sit down for my thesis. You write that to Lizzie, she passes it on. Whoever her contact goes, oh, that sounds fantastic, fits in with our values, happy to give the time. So you're very quickly doing these sort of assumption tests, and you just ping that all the way through your network. Whether it's your board, whether it's setting up a team, or whether it's just testing assumptions for your model. Because it will help you rather than going the long route and then eventually failing where you could have just put something on Facebook. So, is there any questions around that?
Have you got an app?
Well, it's funny, I had a drunken conversation with Nick Byrne the other day and we were talking about it, so you never know. Well, we had a few beverages to celebrate. And the only other thing I'd say about harnessing your social capital is it's one of the best resources you can own and the most valuable, but also means it's one of the best things you need to protect. And sometimes that can be quite hard, where you've got a friend who's just a loose friend of someone else who goes, oh, can you introduce me to someone? And you may have to make up a few white lies there. Well, not that I said that, that was off the record. But protect your social capital. Because the amount of time you put into nurturing it through networks you build at university, through conferences like this, through professional stuff, the time you decide to go out and either be a social entrepreneur or an entrepreneur in your own right, leveraging that will take its success a lot quicker. And we're talking not only efficiency but sustainability, and more robust, because you've already tested all the different models you can have and wiped out all the red flags that could ever possibly pop up. So that's harnessing social capital in one easy game show. Is that alright?
Yep.
Hopefully exciting enough for the last half hour of our thing. So thank you very much for participating. Over to Rusty then.
It's a wrap, guys. Thank you all for coming. All the sessions today, including the plenaries, as well as the parallel sessions, will be made available on the EWB website in case you want to circulate it to your friends, family, anyone else who's interested. Great. If you've got any questions about what you heard today, feel free to come see me or contact anyone from EWB. And if you want to get involved with EWB,